So here's a question for you. Can anyone get wealthy just through pure discipline and the right mindset? Or are the financial pressures we all face today just too big of a wall to climb? Today, we're going to dive into two really powerful and totally clashing perspectives to try and figure that out. This quote, it introduces us to a man named Saad. For over 20 years, he ran the small, humble tea stall. To pretty much everyone, he was just Cha-Cha Saad, the friendly tea seller. But here's the thing. Underneath that simple, everyday exterior was this incredible story of financial genius and patience that, well, absolutely no one saw coming. And Saad's journey, it gives us this powerful blueprint. You could say it's our main idea for today. The concept that with the right vision and some serious discipline, you really can build wealth from almost nothing. Just look at this timeline. It shows you the sheer patience behind his strategy. This was no get-rich-quick scheme, not at all. It all started back in 2002. After years of just putting away 100 rupees a day, every single day, he bought his first piece of land. Fast forward to 2013, and he's building a rental property, creating that all-important passive income. And by 2016, he finally got to retire from the tea stall. This was a 25-year plan, playing out in slow motion. Incredible. So how in the world did he pull it off? Well, he lived by four incredibly simple but really powerful rules. First, he paid himself first. Saving wasn't an afterthought, it was like a bill that had to be paid. Second, he bought assets, things that make you money, like land, not liabilities like a fancy new phone. Third, and this is a big one, he avoided debt completely, no loans. And fourth, he was the master of delayed gratification. His focus was never on looking rich, but on actually becoming free. Saad's story is it's so inspiring, right? It makes you feel like anything is possible. But it also brings up a really tough question. Is a disciplined mindset really all it takes? Can a blueprint like his actually work for everyone, especially for families who are facing the crushing weight of poverty today? Okay, so now we're going to flip the script completely. Let's look at the other side of the coin. This is the data-driven reality of how poverty doesn't just affect your bank account. It affects your mind, your stress levels, and even how your family works. So check out this number. It comes from a study of almost 500 low-income families. On a parental stress scale that goes up to 102, the average score was nearly 70. Now, let's be clear. That's not just feeling a little stressed. No way. This is a relentless, day in, day out pressure that these parents are living under. And you can see how that stress it ripples out, right? That constant high stress is directly linked to a strained relationship between parents and their kids, and even a tendency toward harsher parenting. Think about it. The constant worry about money just drains your ability to be patient. It's not personal failure. It's what happens under extreme economic hardship. And then you hear something like this, a quote from a mother in that study, and it's just heartbreaking. It perfectly explains this idea of material deprivation. We're not talking about luxury items here. It's the psychological pain of not being able to provide even the smallest things for your kids. I mean, if this is your reality, how can you even begin to think about saving for the future? So this brings us to a head-on collision between these two worlds. In one corner, you have the power of individual mindset, and in the other, you have the overwhelming force of systemic poverty. Is it even a fair fight? Let's really break this down. For Saad, his vision and his patience were everything. But the study shows that for so many people, working long hours for minimum wage leaves zero time or mental energy for long-term planning. Saad could save 100 rupees a day, but for that mother we just heard from, extra money literally doesn't exist because of material deprivation. Saad had this powerful personal belief, but the study shows how a lack of social support can leave people feeling completely alone and hopeless. So, where does that leave us? It feels like we have two truths that just can't exist at the same time. But the real answer isn't about picking one over the other. The real answer, I think, lies in bridging the gap between them. Here's the thing. Both of these realities are true. They can and do exist at the same time. Individual agency, what you can control, your goals, your discipline, the stuff Saad had in spades, that is an incredibly powerful tool for success. But systemic barriers, the massive stress, the financial pressure, the psychological hurdles of poverty, those are just as real. And the first step is just admitting that both are true. And all of this leads to a really important question about the future, about the next generation. If we agree that both mindset and circumstances are critical, what do we need to give young people so they can navigate this complex world and build a better financial future? This question from podcaster Sohalia Sonowen it absolutely nails it, doesn't it? Why does school teach the Pythagorean theorem but skip budgeting? We spend so much time on abstract ideas, but so often we skip the basic life skills people desperately need. And you know what? This is the bridge. This is how we connect those two worlds. A positive mindset, like Saad's, that's the engine. It gives you the power and the drive, but practical financial literacy, actually understanding budgeting, saving, taxes, investing, that's your steering wheel and your map. It's a set of tools that lets you take a powerful vision and turn it into a real concrete plan, because without the tools, the engine has nowhere to go. So I'll leave you with this question to think about. To build a better future, what do we need more of? Is it the inspiring stories like Saad's that give us hope? Or is it the better tools, the practical knowledge that turns that hope into a reality? Or maybe the real answer is that you can't have one without the other.